Okay, guys, this is Mr. Grimslin here. We're going to go over Hinduism and the caste system today. One of the big religions in India and in Asia is Hinduism, and today we're going to talk about it. Hinduism, first of all, believes that there's one God that takes on many different forms. This is known as henotheism. Henotheism, one God, many different forms. Remember, we had polytheism and monotheism in our previous unit, and now we're going to introduce something called henotheism, which means one God, many forms. Just some examples of some of the gods. I know we said one God, many forms. This is kind of what we're talking about here. All these gods are kind of integrated into one divine God that they believe in, but they believe in many different forms of the God. So there's Brahma, Krishna, Shiva. All these gods fulfill different roles in the religion. I wouldn't worry too much about what those specific roles are, unless you're really interested in that. But just know that these different gods kind of all are seen as kind of one aspect of the same God. Hinduism's sacred writings, the Vedas, are going to be a collection of religious and philosophical poems and hymns composed over many generations. They address a lot of different philosophical themes. Remember when we talked about sacred texts for maybe the Hebrews, it was the Torah, or Christians, it's the Bible. For Muslims, it's the Quran. For Hindus, it's going to be the Vedas. They're going to be very important for them. And also the Upanishads, which is a collection of opinions and beliefs covering a wide range of topics. And this one is kind of like a student-teacher type of scenario where the teacher is teaching the student how to view religion, how to view yourself, and how to be, pretty much a good Hindu person. So that's what's going on in the Upanishads. So karma and dharma are going to be very important in Hinduism. Karma is basically good and bad actions. So if you have good karma, then you're doing good deeds. If you have bad karma, you're doing bad deeds. And the key thing with karma is people who believe in karma believe that your actions will influence your future consequences. So if you do good things your whole life, you're going to develop that good karma, and then good things are going to happen because of that. If you do a bad thing, say you steal something or you do something you're not supposed to do, then that bad karma is going to build up, and then bad things are going to start happening to you. And then dharma is kind of similar to karma. Dharma basically means duty. So dharma is a system of ethics and duties that Hindus follow. So if you fulfill your dharma, which means you do your duty in whatever caste you're in, then you are going to develop good karma, and that's going to lead to good things. So remember, dharma means duty, and if you do your duty, you do your dharma, you're probably going to have good karma. So the caste system is a complex social system that is a feature of Hinduism. It is basically a way they stratify their society. So there's going to be different divisions, different classes. So people are born into your caste. That's the key thing to remember. People are born into it. You can't rise high in the ranks. You can only move to a higher caste when you die. So a person's caste is tied to their occupation. People cannot change their caste. They cannot marry or socialize outside of their caste. So you are born into your caste, whether that's the Brahmins, which are the highest ones, whether that's the Sudras, which are very low on the totem pole. Once you're born into it, you can't move out of it. The only way to move out is to die and be reincarnated into a higher or lower caste. So you can't socialize with people in your caste. You can't marry people in your caste. You're only associating with people that are in your caste. However, the Hindus do believe that your soul is reborn when you die. So if you develop good karma, then you can move up a caste. And at the same time, if you develop bad karma, you can move down a caste. So people believe that the higher people ranking in society, the Brahmins, the warriors, the highest people up in the caste system, they lived good lives previously, so that's why they should be respected. That's why they're in charge, because they were born into that high caste because of their good actions in previous lives. On the contrary, if you're in a lower caste, it's because you had bad karma from your previous life, So that's why they're treated poorly, is because people believe that they didn't do their duty in previous life and they're being punished for that, essentially. So this is our caste right up here, just kind of the pyramid. The Brahmins are at the top. They're the priests, kind of the scholars, the academics. The Kshatriyas are kind of your warriors and kings. The Vaishyas are kind of your, one way to say it would be business community. They're actually also going to be your scholars, your merchants, your kind of landowners. And then your Sudras down here are going to be your servants, kind of your very low commoners. And then the Dali are going to be called the untouchables. They're kind of just out of the caste system. They're so far down that they're the lowest rank in society. They kind of are your butchers. They're your, they clean the sewers, they clean the garbage, they do, all that work that no one wants to do. So they are seen as dirty. They are seen as unclean. Nobody associates with them or socializes with them. So an untouchable in society is not a good person to be. It's a tough life for the untouchables. So this is kind of similar to that social order we saw in previous units where, we have the priests. They're always important. They're going to be near the top. The warriors, the rulers are going to be up top. Then kind of your merchants, your scholars, your landowners are going to be in the middle somewhere. And then your kind of low commoners, your servants are going to be down low. And then the untouchables are just the lowest ranking caste. So what's the point of all this? You're trying to achieve moksha in Hinduism, and moksha means perfect understanding. So if you do your duty, if you do your dharma, if you have good karma, you're going to move up a caste. You're going to keep moving up. What happens when you're a Brahmin and you do your duty and do good karma, good dharma? You're going to achieve moksha, and you're going to advance out of the caste system. So the goal for all Hindus is to rise the ranks, keep moving up caste, and eventually achieve moksha. And then how did Hinduism spread? It spread along major trade routes throughout Asia. So the key thing with Hinduism, the caste system, we need to know. And we need to know that the goal is to achieve moksha, which is perfect understanding.